evening, everyone. How are you all? Mm-hmm. So, welcome all of you for today's Sunday evening talk. And today we will be having two sessions. Uh, yeah. So, we can start with the first one. Before that, who all are the first timers here? First time visitors? Okay, nice. Welcome once again. So, for the benefit of first time visitors, I would like to give you a brief introduction about the organization as well as the Shanti Sarovar, this campus. So, Brahma Kumaris is a socio-spiritual international organization and it is aimed for personal transformation through Raj Yoga meditation and thereby it brings world renewal. So, we have spread across 130 plus countries with more than 4,000 plus centers all across the globe. So you can find our branches and meditation centers wherever you are in the world. And we have headquarters in Mount Abu, Rajasthan. We started the foundation of the organization in 1937. And we provide different services through our different wings because we target different or we customize our programs for different working professionals or different class of problems. So with different wings like IT, media, education, research, scientist, armed forces. So next we coming Wednesday we also have some seminar and session for researchers, and on Thursday we have the seminar for psychologists. So if you are one of them or you know some of them who are in those professions, you can come and attend. Most welcome for those sessions. You might have got the invitation in your WhatsApp group in our community as well. So let's start with the session first, being assertive. So what is the meaning of assertiveness? Anyone? Communicating yourself respectfully, whatever your thoughts, needs are, without like being so aggressive or so passive, and respecting others, right? So this is a very important topic because we interact with people day in, day out, and being assertive and able to communicate yourself properly is a very important thing when we work as well as in our families, right? So let's start with the first topic. Harsha bhai is already here. So let's welcome him with big round of applause. So he is here from San Francisco to deliver the session. So we are blessed to have him. Many of you might have attended some of his sessions previously. So he used to come. He comes whenever he comes to India. He always visits Shanti Sarovar and bless us with his services. So a brief introduction about the brother. He is practicing Raj Yoga meditation for over 20 years. He lives in San Francisco. He is a certified behavior therapist. He facilitates regular retreats, workshops, group meditations, and wellness programs at different universities, MNCs, and Brahma Kumari's Meditation Center in San Francisco, as well as Anubhuti Meditation Retreat Center. By profession, he has done MS in Computer Engineering and is serving as an Senior Enterprise Architect in MNC. He is specialized in creating a very calm and clear environment for others to experience deep meditation and insight. So let's experience the meditation and insights of his long journey. So over to Harsha bhai. Thank you.
Om Shanti. Oh, so we have a young audience here. Hello, what's your name? What's your name? What's your name? So mommy is saying, say Kavya. Nice. Cool. So this is one of the topic which is, so it's very interesting topic, being assertive. So generally, where do we use this which context do we use this words like assertive or aggressive? So generally, when we talk about in terms of communication, right? So some of the definition that if you want to think about what is assertive, so ability to express your thoughts, feelings, and your needs directly, honestly, and respectfully. Generally, when we think about assertiveness, we always think about what other person will think if I say this, right? I need to be little respectful, and then we think a lot, and in the process, most of the time, we compromise on some of the things, right? So we compromise on being honest that there are some needs we have to communicate, right? So what will happen if you ignore yourself in the under the peer pressure? You come and say that, oh no, I have to be more respectful, people are watching me, and I should come out more positively, more accommodative, right? In the process you cut yourself out of the whole equation, right? So over a period of time, what will happen? It builds up, it will build up, right? And so that is why it is important to look at you have to be very honest. And sometimes we beat around the bushes. Do you know what it means, beating around the bushes? And other person doesn't know what you're trying to say. They say like, okay, there is something going on, they'll never get the point, right? And you may be thinking that, look, I talked so long about my situation and then they are not doing anything, but other person didn't get it. Because we are not direct, we are not clearly stating what is the point that we want to communicate, what is the need, what is the means of communication, right? So and other thing comes is respectful. So that makes things more tricky. It is easy to be direct, it is easy to be positive. It is not so easy to be direct, positive, honest, and clean and clear without hurting anyone. And that is an art. Do you agree? Yeah. And now comes the question of if not assertive, what other ways does it show up? It comes out really aggressive. But you might be saying that, look, I am trying to be clear. I want to make sure you get the point. I'm not trying to be as aggressive, but I'm trying to be clear, right? I have to make myself clean and clear, right? So, what makes things aggressive? Any thoughts? But you are trying to be clear that this is what is going on behind this scene. I want to be clear. That is one thing. Yeah. And other thing, what makes things aggressive? When do we say some conversation is getting aggressive? And the whole focus of conversation goes out of whack. You're trying to talk about this, and now the whole conversation is about your behavior. Ever happen? You're trying to say like, look, we have a fire to put off at work, there is this thing which we found, and then systems are going down, this DOS attacks going on, server will come down, your CPU is spiking like anything, and then you're giving like all these data points, and and then everyone is ignoring. Well, she always like that, everyone is ignoring. And then what do? You try to get their attention. In the process of getting attention, you will either raise your voice, you try to distract what they are doing from what distract other people from what they are already doing to get the attention. And in the process, we become so loud that the message is lost. Only the noise is what people hear, right? So in the process, their attention goes to what's going on with her. Bring some water, right? And then whole attention can easily be taken advantage, and it goes into a tangent. And then look, she does not know how to communicate, she does not know, or he does not know how to talk to people. Is this the way to talk to people? Is this professional? And it goes in a total different tangent. Or look at her attitude. Is this the attitude that you want to present yourself? Can anyone relate to this? Raise your hands. So then what will happen? And just imagine, after all of this thing, system goes down. And then you will be thinking, look, I am right now. And then everyone will come and start blaming you, for example. For example, they come and say, like, because of him, he didn't present it, he didn't communicate it at the right time. And then whole thing that went down, and you are held responsible. How do you feel? How would you feel? Do you feel good? Okay. Now, second time, round 2. Yeah? Round 2, same scenario. And then you see the similar situations happening. Your CPU spiking, DOS attacks, bots attacking your site, and system going down left and right. And then you see it. So now what happens to you? What happens to your communication? This is real scenarios. Yeah? So what happened to you when you're trying to communicate? You recall what happened to you last time, right? Now you are really hesitant either to say, not say, am I saying correctly, I'm not saying correctly. There is more noise in your communication because of your past experience. Follow, right? Now you are more confused, and people are more confused what you're trying to say, right? The clarity slowly starts losing. You follow, right? Can anyone relate to this? Okay, now let's take office situation aside. Bring the situation back to your personal life. You're talking to your family, right? And to your spouse or something. Similar scenarios happening. Ever happened like you tried to say something, they didn't listen, it went down, and then you are blamed for something which you haven't done, even though you took. Somebody is nodding. Yeah? Okay, so now second round 2, similar scenario, some other scenario, but similar settings, right? So when you're coming back, how do you present yourself? I don't know how to present. And you get really confused. And whole communication gets really messed up, right? Okay, so one of the tips is the tone, the body language is a big part of your communication, right? So if you can assertively communicate, what will happen? Mutual respect increases. There is a trust that increases. The escalation reduces, right? So if communication does not go well, what will happen to your confidence? It goes down, right? What will happen to your self-respect? What will happen to your confidence that you are capable of handling something? It goes down, right? So if you actually see all of this thing, do you find one thing that you can put your finger on and then say that if I can handle this thing, all of these things set right? What is that one thing? If you can fix it, whole of your communication will get straight, clean, clear, transparent, no confusion. What is that one thing? What is that one thing in a communication that makes things complicated? Anger, yeah. We are coming closer. Tone, yeah. Perception, yeah. Perception leads to that, yeah. Not understanding is the result of wrong communication. But what makes communication messy? Ego is a big thing, yeah, yeah. Lot of assumption, interpretations, yes, all of this correct, yeah. If you want to put one thing, right? How many of you come to have taken Raj Yoga meditation course? Raise your hand higher. Okay, so you have some concepts behind it, right? Okay, so majority of your communication, is it verbal or non-verbal? Both are there. Which is more? How many of you think 90% of your communication is non-verbal? 90%, it is a huge percentage. Yeah. So in order to make communication smooth and clean and clear, you have to keep an eye on your non-verbal communication, right? So what is the basis of your body language? Non-verbal communication is through your body language. Yeah. Your tone, your gestures. If you go a little deeper, the vibe that you put out, the energy that you create, the atmosphere that you create, right? And especially leaders are those, when they walk in, people feel their presence, right? Like for example, just imagine if Dadi Janki walks in, right? What will happen? You'll feel her presence because she brings a whole different energy, right? So the language that she's trying to communicate is through vibes, energy, right? And body language. Your presence attracts command, right? Your presence has so much attraction, people can't take your attention out of you, that kind of stuff. Okay, so what is the basis of your body language? Thoughts, yeah. Self talk, yeah. Yeah. Huh? Eye contact, yeah. These are all body language. But one of the things, the all of this thing is based out of. That's right. Yeah. So the basis of your state of mind, but if you actually try to see, you separate your head and heart, right? Head is a place you think logically, sequence of train of thoughts, right? So what you feel is what you're putting out. What you're feeling is what creates your body language. Can you digest? What you're feeling is what is guiding your body language. How many of you agree with that? Right? If you are very comfortable, even though you have no idea what you are walking into, you're very composed. And your mind is so clean and clear, and your listening abilities goes to next level. You follow, right? And you can see through all the clutter what actually is the message, especially when your emotions are under check. Can you relate to that? You are very calm, composed, and you're feeling very safe, no threat. So, and you're walking into the conversation, and your mind is clean and clear. A clean mind is a very effective mind. It can see through lot of clutter, exactly what is going on, and it can respond to the exact need, and all the noise will just fizzle off. Follow, right? And that is the power of peaceful mind. A mind will only be peaceful when your heart is at rest. Follow, right? So I'll quickly give you what is going on behind the scene. So most of you had heard about these mirror neurons. So one of the things as a humans that makes us different from rest of the animal kingdom is our learning curve is also fast because we learn by mirroring. We learn by mirroring. Children, newborn, 1 year, 2 year, first 5 years, the learning curve is so sharp. Right? Just imagine learning a language. Right? We already know the language. For example, if I use the word peace, right? So we know what that sound peace pointing to. There is some experience, and we are saying this experience, people call it peace. This experience, people call it love. And now you already know one language and you are trying to learn other language. You are trying to replace one label with other label, right? You say peace, and then in Hindi you say Shanti, right? So you're just replacing words. Learning one language after learning second language after the first language is very easy. Learning language for the first time, do you think it is the most difficult thing? Yes? And children do that. They have no reference. They are coming clean slate. No reference. They have no idea what is going on in this world. They are so open. They have to understand everything, comprehend every feeling, every expression, and associate each and everything for it. Right? And one of the ways we as a humans learn quickly is because of this capability that we have, what we call mirror neurons. So we have these neurons which literally imitate whatever they are seeing inside and then recreate that experience what other person is experiencing. And this ability is what makes us empathize with others. We have this ability because we can empathize with others. So I don't have to go through the whole experience, what you have experienced. Just by listening to your story, I can put yourself in your shoes and I can totally get a glimpse of what you're going through. And that is what this mirror neurons does, right? And we gather all the collective information from generations together, right? And one of the topics after this is about Shradh. Right? This is the month of Shradh. We honor our ancestors. And one of the reason it is connected to this thing, because we carry our ancestors' wisdom with us. Right? And how quickly can you communicate is through these mirror neurons. Follow, right? Having said that, I'm not sure how many can see it, right? But the same process could be counterproductive. And one of the things is your brain cannot distinguish from perceived threat, right? So this also makes things little complicated because it cannot see what is real, what is perceived, right? So your brain cannot distinguish. Is it coming from my retina? Am I really seeing a lion before me and responding to that? My body chemistry is changing, responding to that. Or am I imagining something and then my body is responding? If you have a nightmare and your scariest animal, a snake or alligator or whichever that thing is, comes in your dream, so your body will respond exactly as if a snake is just before you, because of this mirror neurons, because you cannot distinguish what is perceived threat, what is a real threat. You follow, right? And this will become a problem. Follow, right? And this is what happens, especially when you see a trigger. What does it do? It goes back and it creates a perceived threat. The minute you perceive a threat, when there is a threat, what happens? a fear kicks in. A fear brings with it its own anxiety. That emotion is what is stirred up. The minute emotions are stirred up, once you become apprehensive, your body chemistry changes. And your body is giving you a feedback. Look, there is a disaster going on here, right? And your whole of your body language changes, your tone changes, your chemistry changes, and your mind, even if you are a good yogi, and if you try to observe yourself, like in Vipassana they do a lot of this practice. You detach yourself and observe yourself. Look, my body is changing like anything, and you can even see what this is, how this process, this perceived threat and change of your tone, change of your gesture is going to mess up what's going to come out of your mouth. Follow, right? And this becomes a spiral. It winds down to a total uh, disaster pretty soon. So what is going on, right? How can we work? So there is a lot going on. So everything that we have experienced stays within our consciousness. Everything that we have experienced stays within our consciousness. You can put a lot of filters to filter out a lot of these things, but everything that you have experienced stays within your consciousness. And everything that you have experienced is also associated to a person, to a situation, to a setting, right? And any of that connected thing can trigger whole of that emotion again. Every time you're revisiting that network, for example, there is a disease, right? You went through a very severe thing, like nowadays all of this virus that is going on, every joint hurts like hell. It is the most painful thing. So once you experience something painful and then you associate to a disease, the minute you see any sign like, oh, your body temperature is going up, then immediately what will happen? Your fear raises. Oh my God, not again. Right? And your body starts fighting back again. Right? So like disease, what does it feel like? It feels exhausted, it feels enervated, you feel everything hurts, you totally lose control. And now try to connect that with some other experience, right? Have you ever become emotionally exhausted? Anyone ever get mentally exhausted? Right? And that exhaustion, how it feels, links back to that physical exhaustion that you had, right? And now any conversation can trigger that whole body sensation of getting exhausted. Follow, right? And everything is intertwined with everything. And for example, pain, emotional pain, physical pain, mental pain, pain of not being under control, everything is a pain. And everything, there is a backing personal experience, backing scenario, and everything is intertwined, right? And now any trigger can explode whole of this network. You follow, right? And sometimes when some incident happens, going back to our perceived threat, that perceived threat can invoke any of the hidden emotion. A perceived threat can invoke all of your trauma. Anyone heard this term trauma? Trauma is most deepest thing. It is the deepest pain one has ever experienced. Sometimes you may lose connection to that trauma, but it is lingering around. Anything can trigger that, right? And people may be worried, like, why are you feeling this way? There is nothing that scary as of now. But once the trauma gets triggered, oh my God. So you go into dark corners. You'll end up in a dark corners. And nowadays, that is what you're seeing, right? Especially when we talk about depression, even for the small things, people are not able to handle. They are just breaking down. They're literally crashing down. They say, like, I can't handle it. I can't take one more day of this. They literally quit. They literally quit. And that is what's happening, not just in the workplace, but everywhere, in every interaction. It could be family, it could be relationships. Why? Something deep is getting triggered. The minute it gets triggered, whole conversation changes, tone changes, and other person will start feeling guilty for making other person feel bad. And it will go into a whole different tangent altogether. Have you ever felt that, okay, I need to have a honest conversation now? You start the conversation, other person starts crashing down. And then you feel bad that, no, I don't want to make her feel that way again. Ever happen? Yes? Raise your hands. Right? And that's a very scary thing. So now you will just entangle yourself into guilt trips. And you can't even communicate any further. I can't even say anything. If you say something, I have no idea which corner is she going now. You have no idea. It is like a landmine. You have to tread very carefully. You step on it, you blow off. You never know which landmine is sitting where. What you say, what will get triggered. You may use some word. That word can go back to some of. You never know what is that web behind every person. You say some word, boom, something gets exploded and the river starts flowing through. Right? And then you will be worried, like, oh my God, not again. I can't take this anymore. Right? So one of the biggest conversation that you want to have is with who? She's saying something. What is one conversation that you cannot avoid? You can't avoid yourself. Have you ever found yourself going through some conversation and things explode? Have you ever found you're just thinking something logically streamlined, think positive, all this stuff, and some emotions erupt? When you're having conversation with yourself, have it ever happened? It always happens, right? And the same things comes back. So the reality is, at the end of the day, you got to figure this thing out. So one thing is, you can't go back in time and then burn the web. It's already there. What do you think is a solution? You never know what people have gone through. You never know what you say, what will happen on the other side. You never know what other person will say, what will come up, and how your body language changes. So it is so getting unknown because everyone is a mystery, including myself. How are we going to handle this? Is it a valid question? Is it relevant for you? How? Aggression may not always be visible. There is something called passive aggressive. Passive aggressive is they put on a very good smile, the words are right, the tone is right, but if you actually see, the actions are totally different. And you'll see that, oh my God, how she was so nice and kind and everything. And at the end of the day, this is what she did. She took all the information and then she buried me under the whole trouble. Have it ever happened? Passive aggressive. And that is the most dangerous thing. Have it ever happened to you? Have you ever done witnessing happening to somebody else? Right? Okay, so now how do we get out of this? Let's use all the collective wisdom because let's try to solve this problem. Trust who? Self-trust. I can't trust myself because I don't know what is coming out of me. I don't know my own traumas. Should I trust my trauma? Because trauma is not a incident. Trauma is an emotional state. It is a whole tons of energy that is exploding inside. And I have no idea where it is coming from, how I am going to handle it. Acceptance is a first step, definitely. Acceptance of what? There is a trauma. Accepting that there is something there. Because most of the time we don't even know there is there something. Right? So if you are denying, you're not going to do anything about it. Period. What else can we do? How do I respect? I don't know. She's going to burn me down into ashes. How am I going to respect? Awareness is a big part. Yeah. You need to be aware like something is going on. What else? Empathize is a right thing. Yeah. Empathize. Yeah. Yeah. But is it going to solve? I empathize. I know you are in a dark place and I empathize. I also go down the hill along with you. Have you ever happened like you have a friend, she's going through a dark place and you're emotionally exhausted. Every time she comes, she pours in and then you go down the hill. Next time she comes, she says like, oh, not now. She's coming again. You'll say like, oh, I have firefighting to do. Let's talk later. Ever happen? Empathizing may or not always solve. I already know you are going through a dark place, but I'm not ready to handle more darkness in my life. I feel for you. Thank you very much. That's what is the reality, right? Okay. So what else do we have? Yeah, you're compassionate. You're saying that, oh, I feel for you, pity you. What else can you do? Is that going to solve? It's too late. It's already happened. You got a lot of trauma, drama, lot happened. It's over. That early sign, now it's too late. Yeah. Okay. So here is the thing that we learn in Raj Yoga. You got to raise above. You have to raise above. There is no way out. Once you hit a landmine, once you go through a trauma, it does not always have to be your trauma. It does not always have to happen to you. Even when you witness somebody going through, for example, if you witness your own son going through down the hill, do you think mom will go through a trauma? Just imagine son, teenage kid, very successful, good grades, very nice, very respectful. Some illness hits. She sees before her eyes, she's winding down. He's losing and she loses him for good. Do you think she will have a trauma? Yes? I can tell from my own personal experience. One of my closest friend, when I was young, around 8th class, we both were coming back. He got hit and he died on the spot. His mom still now could not recover. She is still in a shock. She is not in a place to accept she lost her son. It didn't happen to her. She has 4 other kids, all successful. Once trauma hits, right? Even if you witness somebody going through, it stays with you. And especially the things that is going on in the world, they say viewers' discretion is advised. Why do they give that advice? When you witness something, you cannot erase it from your mind. And things that are happening, you cannot even comprehend in your wildest dream. When you witness it, you'll have nightmares. It didn't happen to you, Mostly it could even be a fake news. But even if once you witness, once you create that emotion, you cannot erase it. Once you experience, it stays with you. Follow, right? So that will become your nightmare. Even if it didn't happen to you, even if afterwards you realize that is just a made up story, but you already created an emotion, already went through that pain. The only way to come out of trauma is you have to experience something deeper than your deepest trauma. If you really want to uproot a tree, you have to dig deeper into the roots. You have to uproot the whole roots. As deep is the root, you have to dig that deep. You have to uproot it. So only trauma is not a mental process. There is so far you can do with your mind, but it is very much emotional regulation. Follow, right? So one of the things that we learn in Raj Yoga, in any meditation for that matter, you have to transcend. You have to transcend. And you have to transcend not just this physical experience, you have to transcend whole of the experience that you ever had in this physical realm. In other words, you have to transcend all of your experiences in this space and time. So you have to experience that which is beyond time. That which is beyond time is very deep and profound. That experience has a very healing effect, especially on the trauma. Follow, right? So that is exactly what we do in Raj Yoga meditation. And in fact, any meditation, if you actually see any person who had a really good deep experience, if you ask them what is their sense of time, for example, how long do you think you meditated, they say like, I don't think it is long. I just sat and then I just stepped down. They lose traction of the time altogether. And especially even in our ancient civilization, we have a lot of people who go into deep samadhi and they just wake up after a couple of years and they say like, oh, as if nothing happened. They transcend time. You follow, right? So when you learn how to transcend time and perceive that which is beyond, once you experience that, and that can erase everything that happened in this physical realm, right? And how many of you saw this picture before? So this is one of the lessons that you learn in Raj Yoga meditation, how to transcend the time, right? So first thing we need to learn is we need to get, I think I'm running out of time. so maybe under 5 minutes? Yeah? 10 minutes? Okay. So one of the things that we learn in Raj Yoga meditation is first step of Raj Yoga meditation is you need to get a hang of your sense of self. Right? So most of the time our sense of self is always at the physical realm. Our sense of self is very much based on your body sensation. And that is defining where you are and who you are and what capabilities you have access to, right? So you first sense of self is body, and first you have to manage your sensations, right? And most of the time you might have heard in meditation, you consciously relax, you slow down, you settle down, and then as you settle down, you bring your attention to that subtle presence, right? As you calm down your body, your next focus of attention goes to your mind, right? What's on your mind is defines what you're going to experience. You can be in the best vacation spot you are in. You have this magic things. Some notification pops up and somebody made some comment on you and accused you of something which you are not. And you are in your best vacation spot. You've been dreaming to get there for a whole year, and you are with family, friends, and that message popped up. It triggered something in your mind. Do you think you'll have a best vacation? Your whole vacation will be ruined. Do you think what's on your mind has more power on what's your experience compared to where you are physically? Who you are with physically? What position are you in? Do you see the difference? So, the next focus of attention that creates your sense of self is what's on your mind, right? So, now you got to, that's where this cognitive behaviors comes into picture. You got to focus on what's going on in your mind, and you have to put things into perspective, and you need to learn how to separate yourself from your mind, right? So one of the things that we learn when we are meditating is we learn how to slow down your mind, make your mind so calm and clear with some of the concepts that we learn, some of the spiritual concepts that we learn how to put things into perspective that helps you to move forward. You follow, right? So that knowledge, that wisdom helps to clear your mind. So once you clear your mind, then comes the deeper layer, which is emotions. And that is where all traumas are sitting. All your fears are sitting there. All of your deepest, wildest desires are sitting there, right? And that web that we are talking about, that web is what? It is not a just web of incidents that happen in your life, that is a web of emotions. Now you have to cut through that web. And after cutting through the web, that's when you start hitting the real thing, which is the spirit, right? So during meditation, what we are trying to do is you have two things. One is your focus of attention. Where are you paying attention, right? And within, as a conscious being, we have two things. One is our ability to focus, and second thing is whatever you're focusing, you're perceiving it and also feeling it, experiencing it. So that is what you may use head and heart, or you may use mind and intellect, or you can say um, heart and mind, whichever way you want to use, right? There are two things. One which is actually observing, which is paying attention, and other one, whatever you're paying attention, it is engaging with that, right? It is perceiving that energy, it is absorbing that energy, it is transforming your stage, right? So these are the two things that we use when we meditate. So we shift our focus of attention from our body, we calm down the body, we shift our attention to our mind, clear our mind, shift our attention to our heart space, clear our heart space, and then we go deep down and get in touch with the spirit. And that is when you get to perceive something which is very subtle, which very pure and very profound. You get in touch with your own spiritual power, and your mind will be so profoundly transformed, your heart will be so profoundly transformed. And that is where you hear these terms called, oh, there is this pure vibe, pure love, right? There is this pure atmosphere that is created when you are in touch with that pure spiritual power, in that spiritual presence. That is when you are transforming the atmosphere. So once you get in touch with your spiritual presence, and that spirit transcends space and time. Once you get in touch with your spiritual presence, that opens up a whole new world which is beyond space and time. And that is when you always hear, when ancient saints talk about Brahma Tattva, Param Dham, Shanti Dham, Nirvana, right? In Buddhism, they use this word. Nir means beyond. Vani means any kind of earthly vibrations. You transcend any desire, any longing, any wanting, any needing. And once you transcend that, you feel that pure space. And that is where you get in touch with other spirit, which is always profoundly peaceful, blissful. And that is what we call Satchitananda. And you will experience something which is so profoundly blissful, you will never, can ever imagine or relate to anything that you ever experienced on this physical plane. Once you experience that, you go beyond all of the traumas that happened here. Nothing can stop you from there. Follow it. And once you get in touch with it, everything, nothing can ever create any threat for you. You go beyond fear and anxiety. Cool? Sounds good? So you want to try it out? You want to experiment with this? Yeah? So we'll take a few more minutes to meditate and wrap down. Yeah? So make yourself very comfortable. Make this next couple of minutes your best time of your physical existence. Sounds like a plan? Yeah? We have a goal. So make yourself really comfortable. Take the support of your breath. Fully relax, and every breath that you're inhaling, try to feel that soothing energy flowing through your nostril. Try to feel that soothing energy flowing through your nostril. Follow that sensation along your nose, throat. Follow that energy into your lungs. And observe with every breath, all the heaviness on your chest is getting dissolved. With every breath that you exhale, you are letting go of all that heaviness on your chest. Follow that soothing energy. Let it flow into your heart. Let every muscle of your heart ooze away, and let this calming energy flow into your heart. And with every heartbeat, feel this energy radiating out. And every vital organ, your kidneys, your liver, your spleen, this healing energy is flowing through every cell, every muscle, every tissue. Try to see the energy transforming in your body, flowing through your shoulders, your elbows. Feel the pulsation around your wrist. Feel the energy in your palms. Your whole body. There's this pure energy. The energy of your body is transforming. And with every breath, visualize this soothing fountain of energy rising through your nostril, rising between your eyebrows, and this calming energy spreading all over your forehead, melting away all the stress in your temples. And this soothing energy is filling the sockets of your eyes. Feel this calming energy shining through your face. And with every breath, this calming energy is raising and flowing behind your forehead. With every breath, you're inhaling this calming energy into your mind. Try to feel all the sensations behind your forehead. Consciously dissolve all the stress. Shift the energy behind your forehead. More you relax, more you allow the calmness to naturally seep into your mind. Just allow a calm mind, a clean and clear mind, a spacious mind. Try to observe the shift in your mental energy. Your mind is becoming more calmer, more cleaner, more pure, like a mind of an innocent child. Pure mind, peaceful mind, and gracefully bring your heart into this mind space and just allow this soothing energy to seep into your heart. Allow all the heaviness, all these transient emotions dissolving. Let your heart perceive that pure heart of an innocent child, a clean and clear heart. Try to feel that sense of lightness raising your heart to that pure peace, pure love, pure stillness, and go deeper and deeper. Gently focus on that sense of lightness, a loving lightness, a natural stillness. Just allow yourself to stay absorbed in that pure, subtle presence. Pure stillness, very calm, very serene presence. You're transcending into the space beyond, that pure, loving space, as if you step into this womb of loving light, as if in the womb of loving mother. Every heartbeat of love is pulsing through your heart. The divine mother, the divine love is effortlessly flowing through your heart, cleansing your heart, empowering your heart, bringing you closer to the divine soul, divine mother, supreme mother, the supreme soul. Let your heart stay tuned like an innocent child in the womb of a loving mother. Stay absorbed in that love, absorbed in that light. Just allow. Allow the Divine Mother to empower you, heal you. Stay combined, stay absorbed in this love, and allow this sacred loving light to fill your heart. Stay dissolved. Keep this link of heart connected. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Stay connected and continue rest of your journey on this earth. Om Shanti.
Thank you much, Harsha bhai, for such a beautiful validation session. So, who all could go beyond the mind, and experience the deepest soul. Don't worry, it's a continuous journey. So you can start your journey with learning the meditation and go beyond and more deeper and deeper in the experience. And the next session we will start for the spiritual significance of Shradh. As you all know, Shradh has already Pittar Paksh, some people called it. It has already started. So, what is the spiritual significance of the festival or the muhurta we call, right? So, our next speaker is BK Umaveni Didi. She will be taking us through. So, let's welcome her first on the stage. So, she is practicing Raj Yoga meditation since last 20 years. She has dedicated her life for humanity and God since last 14 years, and she has conducted many seminars and talks on various government organizations like Indian Railways and Department of Forest. So over to you, Didi. Thank you.
Om Shanti. Good evening, one and all. This evening is good. अच्छा लग रहा है? सबको अच्छा लग रहा है? रिलैक्सेशन फील हो रहा है सबको? सब हिंदी जानते हैं ना? ओके, थैंक यू. सो अभी का जो समय चल रहा है, अभी हमने श्री गणेश जी का बहुत पूजा आराधना सब करके हमने क्या किया? निमज्जन कर दिया, है ना? तो अभी 10 दिन के बाद नवरात्रि भी आने वाली है. तो इस बीच का समय जो है, जिसको हम अभी शुभ समय कहें या पितृ पक्ष के नाम से जो श्रद्धांजलि जो गठित करते हैं, जो श्राद्ध के नाम से जाना जा रहा है, ये जो 16 दिन के हम अपने पूर्वजों के प्रति, बड़ों के प्रति जो शुभ संकल्प की जो श्रद्धा भावना से हम जो अर्पित करते हैं, तो वो हम अब उस समय में हम गुजर रहे हैं, है ना? सब करते हैं, आप लोग श्रद्धा रखते हैं. क्या करते हैं श्राद्ध में जनरली? पंडित को बुलाते, ब्राह्मण को बुलाते हैं, खिलाते हैं, ठीक है, जल देना. और क्या करते हैं श्राद्ध में? पिंडदान करते हैं. किए हैं अभी आप लोग ने? या उसका तिथि तारीख वो सब देखा जाता है उसमें कि ये तिथि में ही करना है उनको, ऐसा कहा जाता है. अगर तिथि तारीख नहीं मालूम होता है तो एक महालय पक्ष जिसे अमावास्या कहते हैं, उसमें सब पितरों को हम तर्पण करते हैं, इकट्ठा कर देते हैं, है ना? तो इसका अर्थ क्या है आखिर? आज अगर देखा जाए, इस एडवांस के जो समय जो चल रहा है, साइंटिफिक के जो समय चल रहा है, क्या ये सब भी मानते हैं कि मानना चाहिए? क्या करते, क्या कहते? तो क्या करना चाहिए कि नहीं करना चाहिए? कर रहे हैं, बहुत कम है. मतलब अगर पूछा जाए, हाँ हमारे बड़ों ने किया है कि हम भी एक प्रथा के वजह से करना चाहिए कि देखा देखी ये बताया गया है इसलिए करना है. यहाँ तक अगर ये जनरेशन भी अगर हम पास करें, 22 जनरेशन में हम चले जाएं, तो क्या ये सब बातों को अगर स्थान होगा कि हम समझते हैं? धीरे धीरे कम होते जा रहे हैं और भी खत्म होने का भी संभावना है कि नहीं? कि आज कहाँ जा रहे साइंस? तो इसलिए एक समय निर्धारण किया गया है कि हम अपने बड़ों के प्रति श्रद्धा भाव प्रकट करने का, जिसको हम श्राद्ध कहते हैं. श्राद्ध माना ही श्रद्धा भाव. श्रद्धा भाव से आप कुछ भी किसी के प्रति आप अर्पण करते हो, उनको वो पहुंचता है कि ये हमारा अंतर्मन की बात है ना। कि ये कोई अगर दिखाओ, अगर कहेंगे, कोई नहीं दिखा सकता, लेकिन जो करने वालों को जो सेटिस्फैक्शन होता है, खुशी होती है कि उससे हमें भी कुछ प्राप्ति मिला हो, एहसास होता है। तो अगर ये श्राद्ध अगर मना रहे हैं हम, तो इसके पीछे क्या आध्यात्मिक रहस्य अगर जानना चाहे तो हम श्राद्ध किसके प्रति हम अर्पण कर रहे हैं? को जो जिंदा है उनके लिए, किसके लिए अर्पण कर रहे हैं?
जो पुराने लोग हैं, गैस है,
उनके वास्ते। यानी वो तो आज है नहीं, शरीर से है नहीं, हम जो भी करेंगे वो तो स्वीकार नहीं करेंगे, लेकिन फिर भी हम कर रहे। माना जो पितृ जिसको हम कर रहे हैं, पितरों को, पितृ माना ही आत्मा के संबोधित में होता है। हम आत्मा के प्रति समर्पण भाव से, श्रद्धा भाव से जो हम कर रहे हैं, जो कर्म हम कर रहे हैं, वो उनके अर्पण में कर रहे, यानी आत्मा की बात यहाँ चल रही। यही कहती है स्पिरिचुअलिटी कि हम जो आत्मा के बारे में करते हैं कि उनको पहुंचता है, भले ये शरीर में है या नहीं है। अगर वैसे देखा जाए कि मान लीजिए हमारे ही घर में कोई बड़े हैं और नाना नानी, दादा दादी जो भी चले गए हैं, उनके प्रति हम श्रद्धा अर्पण कर रहे हैं, है ना। तो वैसे ही हमारा परिवार में कितने लोग गए होंगे, खानदान के खानदान हम देख रहे हैं थोड़ा थोड़ा, तो हम जो जानते हैं उनको हम अर्पण कर सकते हैं। क्या वो अभी इस स्थान पे रहेंगे? मेरा कहने के बाद तो हम भी तो कहीं से आए हैं ना, हम भी इस शरीर का जन्म लिए हैं। माना पहले जन्म में जो आत्मा के रूप में जो शरीर धारण किया हुए थे, तो उसको छोड़ के ही अभी इस जन्म में आए ना। तो हमारे प्रति भी तो कोई लगा रहा होगा, है कि नहीं? क्या वो सब हमको पहुंच रहे हैं? लगता है आपको पहुंच रहे, जरूर पहुंचेगा। हमारा कर्म से, हमारा जो सेटिस्फैक्शन से जरूर हमको महसूस होगा। अचानक से कुछ अच्छा कार्य हो जाना, जिसको हम लक भी कहेंगे, भाग्य भी कहेंगे। क्यों? क्योंकि हमारे प्रति वो जो शुभ भावना रख रहे, वो हमको अचानक से ऐसे ऐसे अच्छा प्रकट होने लगता है। इसलिए हम ये जो श्रद्धा भावना जो गठित कर रहे हैं या अर्पण कर रहे, वो सिर्फ और सिर्फ आत्मा के प्रति ही हो सकता है। शरीर के नाते में इसमें कोई संबंध नहीं है। ऐसा देखा जाए, आत्मा तो अनेक जन्म लेते छोड़ते, शरीर को लेते और छोड़ते आ रहे, ऐसे कितने ही जन्म लिए होंगे, है ना। पर आज हम जो कोई संगठन में, कि हमारे घर में अगर कोई ऐसा संगठन होता है या कुछ जैसा बच्चा संतान प्राप्त नहीं होते हैं, तो हम जो पूर्वजों से सुनते हैं कि ये तो पितृ दोष होगा, इसलिए ये कर्म करो तुम ठीक हो जाओगे या अच्छा हो जाएंगे। ऐसे भावना हमारे अंदर एक थॉट के रूप में डाल के एक कर्म करने या प्रेरित कर रहे जो बड़ों ने, है ना। माना हमारा कर्म जो है, जो अच्छा होगा तो अच्छा प्राप्ति होगी, है ना। तो जिस घर में हम पैदा हुए हैं, हम पले हैं, यहाँ तक आए हैं, तो उसका कारण हमारा माता पिता ही होंगे। और कहते भी है, उन्होंने जो कर्म किया वो हमको भी प्राप्त होता है, या हमने भी जो किया हमारे माता पिता के प्रति भी उनको लगता है। ऐसा हमारी भावना है भारत देश के अंदर है। तो इसमें ये संगठन ऐसा जब चलता है तो यही भावना आती, पितरों का दोष होगा तो इसलिए पितृ अर्पण करो या तर्पण करो, जो भी हम मान्यता मान रहे हैं। अगर देखा जाए, ये जो पितृ अर्पण जो करते हैं, यानी हमारे पूर्वजों के प्रति हम जो कर रहे हैं, वो अनेक आत्माओं को पहुंचती है, जो हमारे ही घर में पैदा हो, है ना। तो इसमें देखा जाए 3 प्रकार के ऋण जो चुकाना है, जो माता पिता की भी ऋण चुकाना होता है, ऐसा अगर कहें तो 3 प्रकार के ऋण जो चुकाने हैं वो है, हमारे प्रथम में आता है माता पिता के जो ऋण हैं, यानी हमारे प्रति उन्होंने कितना त्याग किया, पाला पोषा, कितने किए होंगे। इसलिए कहते हैं माता पिता का जो ऋण है वो कभी हम चुका नहीं सकेंगे। तो उस भाव से हम पितृ का तर्पण करते हैं जो चले गए। तो ये 3 प्रकार के जो ऋण हैं हमको जीवन भर में चुकाना ही पड़ता है। तो वो पहला होता है माता पिता का जो पितृ ऋण कहते हैं, और दूसरा होता है देव ऋण, और तीसरा होता है ऋषि ऋण। जो पहला माता पिता के प्रति हम जो समर्पण करते हैं, यानी हम जो कर्म कर रहे हैं उसको भी लगे और हमको भी आशीर्वाद मिले। हम क्यों कर रहे हैं कि कुछ आशीर्वाद, कुछ ब्लेसिंग, हम कुछ किए बिना कुछ मिलेगा ही नहीं। तो हम उनके प्रति इतना श्रद्धा भाव से हम जो भी कर रहे हैं वो सिर्फ जाने के बाद करने की बात नहीं है, जब है तभी करना है। और ये अक्सर सुनने में आता है, शायद मेरे अनजाने से, जाने अनजाने हो कोई गलती किया हो, वो नाराज होके चले गए हो, उसकी प्रायश्चित के लिए जो किया गया, जो प्रथा जो स्टार्ट हुआ है, उस भावना से आज हम देख रहे हैं ये प्रैक्टिकली हमारे माता पिता को हम किस तरह से देख रहे हैं। आज देखते हैं ओल्ड एज होम बहुत बढ़ते जा रहे है कि नहीं। उसका कारण क्या है कि हम उस भाव को समझा ही नहीं। माता पिता ने हमारे लिए कितना किया है, हमको कितना उसका ऋण चुकाना होता है। तो वो उस दुख से अगर शरीर छोड़ा यानी मर गया, तो क्या वो हम बच्चों के प्रति आशीर्वाद का शब्द दे सकते हैं? दे सकते हैं कोई? तो उस भाव से अगर जाने अनजाने जो किए हुए गलतियों को सुधारने के वास्ते ये जो प्रथा प्रारंभ हुआ, कि ये अगर वास्तव में देखा जाए ये कर्म की सूचित करता है। जो हम कर रहे हैं कर्म, उसका परिणाम हमको मिल रहा है। अगर वो आशीर्वाद अगर प्राप्त करना है तो अभी नहीं, पहले से ही हमारा कर्म ही ऐसा होना चाहिए ताकि हम भी खुश रहे, वो भी खुश रहे, है ना। तो फिर माता पिता के ऋण कैसे चुकाया जाता है? अगर कहें तो सेवा करने से, सेवा करने से हम उनके ऋण चुकाया जा सकता है। वैसा अगर कितना भी करे हम ये तो चुका नहीं सकेंगे। कहते हैं ना, तो 7 जन्म लिए तो भी आपका मैं ऋण चुका नहीं सकता। वैसा हम बहुत जन्म लिए हुए हैं लेकिन फिर भी चुका नहीं सकते। तो माता पिता के जो श्रद्धा भाव से हम जो कर रहे हैं, जिसको पितृ ऋण कहते हैं। और जो पितृ यानी माता पिता के अलावा जो रचना जिसको कहते हैं, कि ब्रह्मा को भी माँ ही कहेंगे। जो रचना, ये सृष्टि के रचना में आदि का जो पार्ट है ब्रह्मा का, तो उनका भी हमें ऋण चुकाना होता है। ब्रह्मा का ऋण यानी जिसमें दूसरा आता है देव ऋण, यानी हमारा जो खानदान में जो पैदा होते हैं तो हमारा हर एक को कि कुल देव, कुल देवता ऐसे कहने में आता है। हम उनकी आशीर्वाद भी प्राप्त करने के लिए हम कुछ उनको भी ऋण चुकाना होता है। जैसा कि हम जिसे दान पुण्य करते हैं, क्योंकि देवताएं हमेशा देने वाले होते हैं। उनकी जैसा संस्कार हमें भी अगर हो तो आशीर्वाद स्वतः ही मिलेगी। तो इसके वजह से इस समय पे ब्राह्मणों को दान दिया जा रहा है। कि अगर देखा जाए सच्ची ब्राह्मण कौन होता है, कौन होता है सच्चे ब्राह्मण, जिसको हम द्विज कह सकते हैं। द्विज माना दूसरा जन्म लिए हुए हैं, माना उनको ही सच्चा ब्राह्मण कहेंगे। अगर ब्रह्मा मुख से ज्ञान से अगर जन्म लिया हो तो उनको कहेंगे। यहाँ पर प्रजापिता ब्रह्मा कुमारी में जो ब्रह्मा थ्रू इस आध्यात्मिक ज्ञान जो लेते हैं उनको द्विज कहेंगे। या तो जो शारीरिक से ब्राह्मण जो होते हैं वो सिंगल ब्राह्मण ही होते हैं। बुरा नहीं मानना, ये सच्चाई है कि द्विज माना है भले ये पुराने शरीर में, लेकिन ज्ञान से एक नया जन्म, नया विचारधारा, नया संकल्प, नया कर्म जब हम चालू करते हैं तो ये दूसरा जन्म हो जाता, जिसको हम द्विज ब्राह्मण कहते हैं। यानी वो द्विज ब्राह्मण का कर्तव्य क्या होता है कि ज्ञान सुनना, ज्ञान दान करना। और ब्राह्मण का एक निशान दिखाते हैं, वो हमेशा भगवान के मीडिएटर बनता है, भगवान और भक्त के मीडिएटर भी बनता है और भगवान को परिचय करने वाला होता है ना, भगवान से जुड़ाने वाला होता है ब्राह्मण। ऐसे ब्राह्मणों को दान दिया तो उनके दिल से निकले हुए आशीर्वाद हमें प्राप्त होता है, जिसे हम देव ऋण भी कहते हैं। और देवताओं के द्वारा हमारा पालना भी हो रहा है, जो जिसके हमें चुकानी पड़ती है। देवताएं हमें आशीर्वाद वैसे नहीं देते, उन जैसा कार्यक्रम यानी उन जैसा गुण हमारे अंदर भी हो तो वो प्रसन्न होते हैं। कि ऐसा नहीं कि हर चीज मुझे ही चाहिए, स्वार्थ से चले, जरूरत पड़े तो हम प्रार्थना करें, ये नहीं। कि देने का भावना जिसके अंदर हो तो उनको स्वतः ही आशीर्वाद मिलता। देखा जाए अगर ये जो कर्म हम करते हैं देने का, तो देने वालों को खुश होता है नहीं होता है, और लेने वालों को भी खुश होता है नहीं होता है। तो दोनों को खुश होने का जो कार्य हम करते हैं दान करने का, वो अनेकों का आशीर्वाद प्राप्त करने का योग्य बनाता है। तो जिसे हम भी अपने जितना क्षमता के अनुसार दूसरों को दान करें। कि हम ये नहीं कहेंगे दान करो, ये करो। कहा जाता है जिसकी क्षमता जितनी है, जिसका पानी का भी दान दे सकते, जैसा हम कहते हैं, जिसका अन्न का भी दान कहते हैं, किसी का विद्या दान कहते हैं, है ना। अनेक प्रकार के दान होते हैं, तो जो अपनी क्षमता के अनुसार हम कर सकते, जो हमें वो रिटर्न के रूप में, आशीर्वाद के रूप में हमें जो प्राप्त होता है, हम अपने जीवन में आगे बढ़ने का एक स्टेपिंग स्टोन बन जाता है। इसलिए देव ऋण भी हमें चुकानी होती है। तीसरा होता है ऋषि ऋण। ऋषि माना हम कहते हैं जो तपस्या करने वाला, त्याग किए हुए हैं, और ज्ञान देने वालों को या सद्मार्ग दिखाने वालों को हम ऋषि कहते हैं। वैसे अगर देखा जाए सबसे बड़े ऋषि हमें दिखाते हैं कि जो तपस्या करने वाला शंकर को दिखाते हैं, यानी तपस्या स्वरूप दिखाया है। भक्ति मार्ग के अंदर शिव और शंकर को मिलाने के कारण थोड़ा सा उसमें कंफ्यूजन है, लेकिन ज्ञान देने वाला, तपस्या सिखाने वाला, मार्ग दिखाने वाला वो सर्वोच्च भगवान परम पिता शिव परमात्मा होते हैं। वही हमें मार्ग दिखाता है, सद्मार्ग दिखाता है, सद्गुरु बन सकता है। तो उनका भी, परमात्मा का भी हमें ऋण चुकाना होता है। किस तरह से? उनकी परिचय देने से, उनकी कार्य को या उनकी गुणों को अपने चारों ओर जो हमारे साथ है तो उनको दान करने से या परिचय देने से। कहा जाता है जितना ज्ञान दान करो उतना ही बढ़ेगी। स्थूल रीति से हम करेंगे तो शायद कम हो सकता है, लेकिन ज्ञान दान किया, ज्ञान हमारे अंदर आया, वो दूसरों को यूज हुआ, ये सब दान करने से भगवान भी प्रसन्न होता है, तो आशीर्वाद के रूप में हमें मिलता है। तो ये जीवन भर ये 3 प्रकार के ऋण जो चुकानी होते हैं, वो एक समय निर्धारण किया। वैसे एक समय की बात नहीं है, लेकिन हम हर समय अपने कर्म के अंदर इतने ध्यान दें, यानी दूसरों को हमें आशीर्वाद प्राप्त करने जैसा हम कर्म करें, तो हमारे जीवन को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए उपयोग होता है। तो इस प्रकार ये जो पितृ पक्ष में हम जो करते हैं, वो कर्म जो करते हैं, दान करना, ये कौन सी दान? सबसे ऊंचा कहा जाता है कि ज्ञान का दान, है ना। ये ज्ञान दान देने के लिए कोई पैसे की, स्टेटस की जरूरत नहीं है। अगर हमें कुछ अच्छा सुना, कुछ हमें अच्छा लगा, वो दूसरों को अपने वाचा के माध्यम से भी हम दान कर सकते। इसलिए जितना जिसकी क्षमता है वो स्थूल करे बरे, लेकिन सबसे ऊंचा ते ऊंचा ज्ञान दान कहा गया है। तो इन तीनों अगर ऋण चुकाना है तो हमारे जीवन पर्यंत हमें ऐसे कर्म करना होगा। तो कर्म का फल ही हम अभी भी लेते हैं, भोगते हैं, और हमारा ये प्रेजेंट शरीर छोड़ने के बाद भी वो कर्म ही लिया जा सकता। और इसको हमें समझाने के लिए पौराणिक रीति से बहुत सारे कहानियों के माध्यम से हमें समझाया गया है। लेकिन हम अक्सर कहानी तो सुन लेते हैं बहुत अच्छे से, लेकिन उसका सारांश को प्रैक्टिकल में लाने के लिए हमारा इतना क्षमता या ताकत नहीं रखते। कहानी सुनने तो अच्छा ही लगता, शायद सुने भी होंगे कि इस श्राद्ध के बारे में एक कर्ण की कहानी भी बताते हैं। कर्ण जो है महावीर, दान कर्ण जिसका नाम है, तो वो अनेक प्रकार के दान किए हैं उनके जीवन पर्यंत में। लेकिन जब उन्होंने शरीर छोड़ स्वर्ग गया तो उनको मिला कि हर एक भी जो भी उनके साथ स्वर्ग में थे, तो वो एक समय बैठ करके भोजन स्वीकार कर रहे थे। भोजन स्वीकार करते हैं तो देखा हर एक थाली के अंदर कितने प्रकार के वैरायटी व्यंजन भोजन मिल रहा था, लेकिन सिर्फ कर्ण की थाली में सोने, जवाहरात, मोती, माणिक दिखाई दे रहा था। तो उनको आश्चर्य लगा, सबको तो अच्छा खुशी से खा रहे, तो मेरी थाली में ऐसे क्यों? तो पूछा तो कहा कि आप जब जीवन में थे तो आप हमेशा ही कि इसी के लिए फेमस हुआ कि धन दान किया या सोना दान किया, वज्र वैढूर्य दान किया, इसी का ही आपने किया। जो आपने किया उसका परिणाम ही आपको मिलेगा, वही मिलेगा, जो कर रहे वही मिलेगा, है ना। तो फिर वो तो खा नहीं सकता, फिर क्या करें, उसका प्रायश्चित क्या करें? तब कहा जाता है ये जो 16 दिन अमावस्या के पौर्णिमा के बाद जो अमावस्या तक जो आता है, जो 16 दिन कि भगवान उनको एक्स्ट्रा समय देता है, जो आप करके आओ, उसका एक मौका दिया कि अब जा करके अब दान धर्म करके आओ। तब वो आता है धरणी पर, तो अपनी श्रद्धा भाव से बड़ों के प्रति, तो जो श्रद्धा भाव से दान पुण्य किया, ब्राह्मणों का सेवा किया, ब्रह्मा भोजन खिलाया, तब जाकर के उनको ये अच्छी प्राप्ति मिली। तो कहानी तो बहुत अच्छा सुनते हैं, लेकिन हम इस कर्म के ऊपर कितना अटेंशन रखते हैं, तो ये बात होगी। तो जब हम ये कर्म जो सीखने की बात होती है, तो वो कर्म क्या करना चाहिए, कर्म की गहन गति क्या है, हम अनजाने से भी हम सोचते मैं तो किसी का बुरा नहीं माना था, आज तक मैंने किसी को बुराई नहीं किया है, फिर भी मेरे जीवन में ऐसा है। आता है कभी प्रश्न, आता है किसी को? बहुत होता है। तो उसका कोई उत्तर बता सकता है? तो हम हर कर्म, फिर भी हम अपने अंतर मन से अगर पूछा जाए, अगर कोई उत्तर नहीं बता सके, तो हम ही अपने आप सोचे थे ये सब मेरा ही कर्म है, हम कर्म कूटने लग जाते हैं, माना हमने ही किए हुए कर्म का फल आज भोग रहे हैं। तो इसलिए हम कर्म के ऊपर ध्यान देने की बात ये सिखाई जा रही हैं कि इस श्राद्ध के रूप में भी हम ऐसे कर्म करें जो बड़ों से भी आशीर्वाद ले, या अपने पितरों से भी आशीर्वाद ले, ये देवताओं से भी आशीर्वाद ले और परमात्मा से भी आशीर्वाद ले, ऐसा कर्म करें, यही सच्चा श्राद्ध होगा। हाँ, यहाँ पर ब्रह्मा कुमारी इसमें कि श्राद्ध का भी मानते हैं, और इससे भी अच्छा एक क्या यहाँ पर चलता है, हम ये शरीर में हैं, जिंदा होते भी हमारे लिए भी श्राद्ध लगता है। कैसे? क्योंकि हम यहाँ पर आते हैं तो हम पुरानी दुनिया से, पुरानी आदतों से सबसे मरे हुए हैं। हम नया जन्म लिए हैं तो हमारा पुराने को विदाई दे दिए, और उसकी यादगार में भी हमें भोग लगाए जाते, हम अपने आप को भी लगाते हैं। माना हमारे पुराने कर्म जो भी हो गया है उसको बिंदी फुल स्टॉप लगाना, अच्छा कर्म अब से शुरू होगा तो हमारा ये नया जन्म। तो इस प्रकार हम अगर सच्ची भावना से, दिल से, श्रद्धा से हम अब से अच्छा कर्म करने सीखे तो वो हमारे आगे के जीवन में हर वक्त हमारे आशीर्वाद के रूप में मिलते ही जाएंगे। हाँ, आशीर्वाद लेना जरूरी है। कुछ किए बिना कुछ होगा नहीं, है ना। तो कुछ किए बिना कुछ होगा नहीं, तो कुछ तो करना है, तो करे क्या, है ना। तो सबसे ऊंचे से ऊंचा जो दान हमें मालूम हुआ, जो ज्ञान दान, हमको जो अच्छा लगा ज्ञान सुनने के बाद, हम उसको रियल लाइफ में अप्लाई करने के बाद हम दूसरों को बताएं, इतना तो कर सकते, है ना। तो इसलिए हम अपने ही कर्म को सुधारने का भी एक मौका है ये जो श्राद्ध का समय, क्योंकि हम इसी समय में ही अगर ना भी जाने तो सब लोग करे, हम भी करेंगे कुछ दान, ऐसे सोचते हैं। माना जो दान करने का जो बीजारोपण अब ये समय में जो होता है वो बहुत ही अच्छा शुभ आरंभ हो, तो हमें भी ऐसे श्रद्धा भरी श्राद्ध हम मनाएंगे तो हम आगे के लिए भी अच्छा रहेगा। तो उसके लिए यहाँ पर आप श्रेष्ठ कर्म सीखने के लिए तो यहाँ पर 7 दिन का राजयोग जो सिखाए जाते हैं अपना विचार बदलने के लिए, नया जन्म लाने के लिए, आप आकर के सीख सकते। यहाँ कोई ऐसा है जो पहली बार आए हैं, यहाँ पर पहली बार आए, तो हमें आप ये बताना चाहते हैं कि यहाँ पर अभी जो संडे टॉक में आए हैं, कुछ अच्छा लगा, कुछ जाना, और भी आगे बढ़ने के लिए यहाँ पर हर मंडे से संडे तक 7 डेज कोर्स चलता है, राजयोगा मेडिटेशन फाउंडेशन कोर्स चलता है, जिसमें अपने प्रति भी जान सकते हैं, परमात्मा के प्रति भी जान सकते हैं, अपने कर्मों की प्रति भी जान सकते हैं। इस प्रकार अनेक नया ज्ञान सुन सकते हैं जिससे हमारा परिवर्तन हो, चेंज हो, है ना। तो इससे अनेक प्रकार के टेंशन से भी आप रिलीफ हो सकते हो। इसलिए यह जो शुभ आरंभ करने का जो समय है अभी ही है ना। और सबसे अच्छे से अच्छा दान दूसरा भी कह सकते हैं, हमारे अंदर बुराइयों को दान कर दो, है ना, बुराइयों को दान कर दो, है ना, वो कोई नहीं कर सकता। इसलिए हम क्या कहते हैं, अच्छाइयों को धारण करो, अच्छाइयों को धारण करो, सुनते रहो सुनते रहो, एक दिन हमारे प्रैक्टिकल में आ जाएगा, है ना। तो इसी जो चांस है हमें इस शुभारंभ में करने का, तो वो कल से आप कर सकते हैं। मॉर्निंग 7 to 8 मेडिटेशन कोर्स होता है, तेलुगु का बैच अलग रहेगा, हिंदी का बैच अलग रहेगा, शाम को भी होता है 1 hour सेशन, तो आप अपनी समय के अनुसार आकर के सीख सकते हैं। तो ऐसे इन शुभ कामना के साथ मैं वाणी को विराम देती हूँ। ओम शांति। समझ में आए ना कैसे मनाना है श्राद्ध? थैंक यू सो मच। अभी 2 मिनट हम मेडिटेशन में बैठेंगे। रिलैक्स में बैठेंगे, अपने मन और बुद्धि सहित इस वर्तमान समय में रहते हुए इसी शुभ समय में अपनी शुभ भावनाओं की, श्रद्धा की शुभ संकल्प हम अपने बड़ों के प्रति समर्पण करते हैं, और अनजाने से जो किए गई गलती, भूल, जिससे बड़ों को चोट पहुंचा, दिल दुखाया, उन सबको हम माफी मांगेंगे और माफ कर देंगे। जिससे दिल से मुझे आशीर्वाद मिले। और इतनी सुंदर मौका दिया, इतना सुंदर ज्ञान मिला, इन सब के लिए भी मैं उस परम पिता परमात्मा को शुक्रिया अदा करूंगी। ओम शांति, ओम शांति।